Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii. Last time we made our way through Tropical Resorts, but now we have unlocked 2 locations to go to. We can do them in any order, but which one will I go to first?
Next stop, the Star Light Carnival. The sheer scale of our illuminated space fleet is sure to make you feel small and insignificant by comparison.
Oh god. Okay, let's talk about Dr. Eggman right now. So, throughout each area, except for Planet Wisp, you will constantly, well not constantly, but we will frequently hear the sound of Eggman over the PA system. Right, now, you're not actually really going to be able to hear Eggman that well while you're playing the game. You can find files, you can find videos, I should say, of people that have uploaded every one of his quotes. And they are brilliant. This game already, I think, has the best writing out of any Sonic game. And the best of that comes from Dr. Eggman. Eggman is so good in this game, especially with those PA systems. It's like when I was running through Tropical Resort, it'd be things like, with the owner of a white hover car shaped like an egg, please report to the front desk. Your car has been broken into. Repeat. With the owner of a white hover car shaped like an egg, please report to the front desk. Your car is... Wait a minute, what the heck? There is one where Eggman will wonder, like, who wrote this drivel? And then Orbot will say, you did, boss. Oh, that's right! Oh, I'm hilarious. There's one, I think, an asteroid... Some of them are... No, they're each unique to the area. But, like, an asteroid coaster, there'll be one where he's like, please refrain from licking the rides. People have been sitting on them with their butts, which means that you will be licking other people's butts. Hey, I know you. You're that thing from Chemical Plant Zone that I really, really hate. Yeah, Sonic Colors actually not only does it bring back the egg pawns from Sonic Heroes, but it also brings back classic bandits. We have Motorbugs. We have those things from Chemical Plant that I don't know the name of. We have Buzz Bombers are in here. I think... Are crab meats in it? I want to say crab meats are in one of the stages. There, they're Motorbugs. They've picked up some speed since we last saw them. Now they're actually somewhat of a threat. Very slightly. Unless you quick step into them. So with each quick step you get some bonus points. Only so many. Eventually they will catch on to stop you. You only get so much quick step bonus. It will eventually stop. You also only have so long to actually get points in a stage. If you spend too long in a level, you will eventually get a time, it will say time's up, and you won't be able to get any more points. So you also, any rings you've collected, you won't get any bonus points for them at the end either. But like this, yeah, now I'm not getting any points for quick stepping anymore. I'm boosting here and then I stop. I don't think it actually makes a difference if you boost, because I do, yeah, that doesn't look like I'm going any faster. A nice touch, I think Unleashed did this as well. When you're boosting, it distorts the sound to emphasize how fast you're going. You know, you're supposed to be breaking the sound down. You need to hold left here. No, hold right here. Don't hold left. Hold right in a 2D game. Who knew? In a 2D section, anyway. Otherwise, Sonic's not actually going to go anywhere. It launches into the ceiling for some reason. Right, so here we have the blue Wisp, which turns Sonic into the blue cube. And this is probably my least favourite Wisp. It's not really very interesting. You just turn these blue rings into cubes and vice versa. Collecting the rings does give you points. It's easily the most situational of the Wisps. Okay, maybe not. You know what? I say that's Rocket, actually. I'll give that to Rocket. And maybe Frenzy as well. Some Wisps are quite situational. Others you can do quite a lot with them. Now there isn't much 3D in this game anyway, but also Laser and Frenzy are the only Wisps that you can use in 3D. Everything else is restricted to 2D. If you try and use them in a 3D section, it'll just deactivate. I wish you could use the others in 3D. Using Laser is fine, using Frenzy in 3D sucks. So you need to make sure, obviously you want to make sure you're not underneath these things when they crush down. Thing is, they don't actually kill Sonic, they just hurt him. Remember back in the games where Sonic used to die when he got crushed? Made Spring Yard Zone an absolute pain. So if we make our way along here, we can eventually get to a red ring. Star Light Carnival Act 1 is one of the longest acts in the game. It does take a good 5 minutes. I think I spent about 12 minutes here on my first playthrough, something like that. I was here for a very long time. Make sure you're quick here. Have these diving sections returning from Unleashed. Again, hold the jump button and you will dive down faster, but you lose your maneuverability. I should point out that the game tells us that Eggman has captured 5 planets. In reality, he's captured 3. Because Star Light Carnival is not a planet. It's a set of ships. And they're not Eggman ships either. Although the inside of them, I guess Eggman's just designed them to look like his ships. Oh, come on. It's touching my toe, damn it. But yeah, Star Light Carnival, these aren't Eggman ships. It's actually somehow a planet. I'm not really sure in what perspective this is a planet, or indeed how Eggman's captured it all. There's also Asteroid Coaster, which is... It has a few that look like Saturn. Very small planets, but everything else is an asteroid. Well, is asteroids. Yeah, it's more of an asteroid field than an actual planet. So in reality, Eggman has captured 3 planets. One of which is encased in glass, and has also captured a set of ships and some asteroids. Now, I'm not sure which part of Aquarium Park is actually supposed to be changed by Eggman. Like, did it always have an Asian theme, or was that Eggman? Because they're supposed to be, like, I think, the Wisps' home planet, despite the fact that only one of them is called Planet Wisp. I don't think they really thought that part through in the writing process. But, oh well. Don't stay too close to these things or they would explode. Admittedly, the explosion is kind of underwhelming. This is where I messed up. Yeah, got that perfectly fine. Then I got a bit lost. What I could have just done is I could have just gone straight down. I now realise that looking back. Ow. I'm trying to go to the left despite the fact that there is a wall there and the way down is right there. Come on past me. Break. Destroy the crates. There we go. That's what I finally saw it. Bad place to stand. Probably should have waited for him to shoot me and then jump. Oh, Mr. Goring. Yeah, I don't think you encounter Cube that often, probably because of how situational it is. It's pretty much more so just to find an alternate route or to grab red rings. That's pretty much all you're going to get out of it. Again, some are very useful, others not so much. The Wisps are, for the most part, completely optional. There are a few areas where they're mandatory, but those areas are very rare. They're almost always optional. Right. Now we get to one of my least favourite gimmicks of Sonic Colors, the Yellow Spring. Which is kind of backwards, because last I checked in the classic games, it was the yellow springs that didn't send you very far, and the red springs that sent you a really long way. Here it's reversed. So you have these yellow springs, you can move left and right. It generally tends to catch up to Sonic. I don't think it does there because you're on solid ground. If you try and move right, it will catch up to you. If you try and move left, it won't. That one just goes straight up, so it's not really the same here. These stages aren't really very interesting. If you use the stomp, you'll get additional height. As you can see, I'm not at any risk of losing it. Kind of reminds me of the Sky Chase in Sonic 2, where Tails would always catch you, except in Sky Chase you could still go left. You can't do that here. Although in Sky Chase it is still very possible to spin dash or use Supersonic and you'll fall off the side. Like Tails isn't fast enough to catch up to you. That said, these red rings can be quite a pain to grab. But even some of these rings can be a pain to grab. This is one of, I think, 2 levels that has this gimmick. I think this gimmick does reappear in... I know it appears in Aquarium Park. No, it's 3. It's also in somewhere in Asteroid Coaster. I don't think it's used for the entire stage in Asteroid Coaster, but it is in Asteroid Coaster. And then just use it to get to the goal ring, like so. It's when those stages start getting longer that it becomes a bit tedious, really. Because you're not doing much, you're just bouncing around. It's one of the more gimmicky stages. With no wisps in sight. Seriously, I don't think there's a single wisp in that stage. Star Light Carnival doesn't actually have any cutscenes in it until we get to the end. Same with Sweet Mountain. Sonic Colors has a very simple story, and personally it's my favourite story in the series because it's a story that doesn't take itself seriously. Because it's like, every Sonic game prior to this has pretty much just been the world is in peril against the monster of the week. Eggman usually tries to take control of it and fails, and has to team up with Sonic. In Adventure, it was Chaos. I hate the placement of this guy. Even without the red ring, I hate the placement of this guy. Damn it! I was right at the top. It's like in Sonic 1 we had Chaos, in Sonic 2 we had the Bio Lizard. In Sonic 3 we had Metal... it's Sonic 3. In Sonic Adventure we had Chaos. In Sonic Adventure 2 we had Bio Lizard. In Sonic Heroes we had Metal Sonic. In Shadow the Hedgehog we had Black Doom. 06 is Solaris. Secret Rings we had Eraser Jin. Unleashed is Dark Gaia. And then Eggman isn't even in Black Knight. We just had King Arthur and Melina. So this game is simply a Sonic vs. Eggman fight. The DS version is a little bit different at the end. But generally it is still just your standard Sonic vs. Eggman, which is how I like it. And they do sort of keep to that afterwards. He's still the main bad guy of Generations. Although he's replaced by the Deadly Six earlier on, he's still the final boss of Lost World. He's still the main boss. He's still the main bad guy of Forces. We've sort of abandoned the whole monster of the week thing. We still have, the only difference being is that we do have the Deadly Six, which do get the most attention in Lost World, even if they're not the final boss. And then there's Lyric. But we don't want to talk about that yet. Right, remember these guys from Sonic Unleashed? Just quick step out of the way. There's no robots that we can push into them this time, and it's not like the SD version either where we can homing attack into them. All we can do is just avoid the egg chasers or arrow chasers, depending on what game you're playing. So, what are these spiky balls? So how many of these, are all of these ships just part of Star Light Carnival, or are they some of them captured by Eggman? Or some of them just Eggman ships? I can't tell. Again, it's not really 5 planets. It's hard to tell what you call this, really. Safety spring. And a new Wisp is now given to us. So this is the Green Wisp, which turns Sonic into the Green Hover. So what this does is it allows Sonic to fly. I love the music that plays when you're using the form. If you hit the boost button, Sonic can perform that sort of swirling ability, which serves as both an attack, and weirdly, you need to use this Wisp in order to use the light speed dash. I don't know why. For some reason, 2 moves that Sonic can't do in this game without the Wisps are the light speed dash and the spin dash. Now the spin dash wasn't in Unleashed, it was in the SD version at the beginning of a stage, but that's all you could use it, and it's not in the HD version at all. The spin dash requires the pink Wisp, the light speed dash requires the green Wisp, but this is where you really should see how unreliable this wall jump is. For some reason it only seems to work if I hold left. I don't get it. I mean, that time I just reached the top. I get what happened there, but it only seems to want to work if I hold left. Come on, Sonic! Get up the wall! Right, we finally got up there. We'll deserve this. I'm taking my anger out on the robots. The thing about Star Light Carnival is that when you're on those purple pads, it's all automatic. This is easily the most automatic stage in the game. I mean, in every stage will have those moments where you're just running automatically, usually you're quick stepping or something like that. I mean, Star Light Carnival at 1, it takes about 20 seconds before you can actually do anything. It's going to be one of the worst examples of taking control away from the player in a Sonic game. There are a few other stages that are like that, especially at the beginning. Space Gadget in Shadow the Hedgehog takes about just as long. 06 does it all the time, and technically it's the gimmick of Secret Rings. Right, it's time for my first death. Boost! Whoops. I did scream when that happened. I was like, whoa! I can't remember exactly how I said it. I was like, whoa! But it was just I wasn't expecting to do it. Again, it's because I'm so used to just having like the bottom face button as the jump button, but that's not the case here. It's like the right face button is the A button, and that's the jump button, because that's how it would be on the Wii remote. So that applies to the classic controller as well, so that throws me off. I did the same mistake there. And I only had to press the R button that time. I definitely don't know how I did that. This is why I like the Horror Wisp. But at least that allowed me to properly showcase the Lightspeed Dash this time. We have the spinners returning from Sonic Adventure. These metal ones can't be destroyed, they're simply just there as a means of progression. So otherwise you're kind of stuck. Yeah, I've got to hold forward here. Yeah. The Hover Wisp is, I think, just along with Frenzy, I think it's the one you use the least. Some Wisps definitely get more attention than others. If there's one Wisp that I do get tired of, it's the Drill Wisp. It's the one you have to use the most in the stages to get the S ranks. It's also the one that you're going to be using most often. I use Laser quite a lot. You come across Spikes a few times. And then the rest of them are kind of not used as much. I mean, in Rocket's case, you can't use much with it anyway. But Cube, Cube's situational. Frenzy and Hover, you're also not really going to be using that much. It's a shame, because I really like Hover. But I guess they just didn't want you flying over everything, although they could have just designed a stage like this, so, you know, it's kind of the gimmick. Again, you know, you can still platform like this, you don't have to use the Green Wisp. The meter doesn't drain while you're using the Lightspeed Dash, you're also invincible whilst you use the Lightspeed Dash. And you can use it on those small sets of rings as well. Right. They are timed though. The rings will disappear in the middle of the Lightspeed Dash, like it does here. Yep, like that. That was annoying. I'm not sure which of these ways is supposed to lead you to the red ring, but I don't get the red ring anyway. So just make sure you're ready for when you have to get past. You may have to go into the homing attack after you've run out of Wisp energy. So make sure you're not holding the Lightspeed Dash button, because that's also the boost button. Which I can never get to work in Sonic Lost World. Many of the Wisps do reappear in Lost World, and the thing about the Hover, it's in one stage, one single act of Lost World. It's a wonder why they even brought it back. And it sucks, because the Lightspeed Dash doesn't freaking work. So why even bring it back to begin with? Not only are you only going to use it in one level, it doesn't even work.
If I was an alien in need of saving, where would I be? Experience has taught me to investigate anything that glows. Huh? Experience has also taught me that the best way to solve problems is to kick robot butt.
This is our caution to avoid feeding, petting, or saving any aliens.
Excuse me, giant killer robot? You want to do this the hard way or the easy way? Somehow I knew you'd say that. Let's dance.
Alright, time for boss number 2. These ones are probably my least favourite boss fights, admittedly. No, that's not true at all, actually. I just remembered what the other boss fights are. This one's alright. The second one it goes on a bit longer. This one's alright. They have names, but again, I don't remember what they are. Unlike the first boss, in the DS version, you still do fight this thing. It's only the Ferris wheel boss fights that we don't see. We still have this. We still have the jelly bosses, as they're known as, Captain and Admiral Jelly. If you go to Sweet Mountain first, that cutscene still plays, but it will be set in Sweet Mountain instead. And instead of this thing appearing and shooting Sonic, it'll be Captain Jelly instead. And likewise, if you go to Sweet Mountain first, the cutscene that we're going to see in Sweet Mountain will play in Star Light Carnival instead. There are multiple things on this that you can attack, but if you can get the laser into it, you can get this boss fight done a lot faster. I probably could have gotten the S rank on this, but I got hit a few times. These two are probably the hardest bosses to S rank, along with maybe Admiral Jelly, just because he's such a nightmare to actually hit. I definitely should have gotten hit there. I don't know how I avoided that. And every now and then it'll go into the 2D perspective and it'll fire acid. But really, this boss fight is really easy. And there we go. The second one is way harder. It's probably the hardest boss in the game. Just try and get your quick step bonuses and your ring bonuses in this last section. Sadly, it's not enough. I only get the A rank this time around. And that's that. See, I wasn't that far off. One extra life. Thank you. And didn't get it.
Hey, Tails, you missed the BBBE.
Huh?
Best boss beating ever! So, has Yacker given you any more information, or limericks, or whatever it is he's spouting?
Well, first, remember, this translation stuff isn't 100%.
Trust me, I remember.
So anyway, these aliens are made up of a really powerful energy source called hyper-go-ons. It's inside of them.
Like a battery?
No. Well, sort of. It's their life source. You only got a taste of it. Look at what happened. Battery is sort of an understatement. Funny thing, it was first translating as horrible body odor. Anyway, it seems an evil man, and you might know him, who they call Baldy Nosehair.
Baldy Nosehair! That's the best thing I've heard all day. I gotta remember that one.
I know, I've already written it down. Anyway, he's draining them of their power, all their power, and using it for an evil aquatic mammal? An evil dolphin? No, a porpoise. Oh, an evil purpose.
That's good intel. Keep working on it.
Hey, where are you going?
To find Baldy McNosehair, of course. I'm totally calling him McNosehair.
And I love that name. Sadly, he never says it for the rest of the game. Or Generations. He does bring it back in Lost World, however, so there is that. Alright, next up, the Sweet Mountain, as Eggman would tell us. So I will see you guys